Hello, and welcome to episode 105 of I'm the Tigers, a podcast all about the National Ice Hockey League, but one that always has an eye on the Telford Tigers. So, here we are, a couple of weeks into the National League. Should we just jump straight on in? Let's take a quick look around the league. So, I think the big news item this week, down at Basingstoke, rink's still not ready. So again, seeing a few more games rescheduled, including Telford, who are due to take the trip down there the upcoming weekend. Rescheduled game. One exception being Swindon will host an away game between Basingstoke and the Wildcats. So, I think that'll give the Bison their first two-game weekend of the season with that happening. So, bit interesting with a lot of games being rescheduled and the Wildcats getting to, host an away game. But there we are. I think the important thing is really it's kind of get to the stage where I guess games need to be played because otherwise, there's going to be one hell of a backlog. Quite simply, Basingstoke are going to be playing midweek hell of a lot, I think. We'll see how all that one pans out. In terms of news on the Tigers front, well, Sunday was a big day as it saw Eric Henderson record his 100th point for the team. So congratulations, Eric. What an impact you certainly had on the team over the past, less than a year, actually. I think it was October last year that we saw Eric make his debut. Bigger than that, 800. 800. Yeah, you have heard me correctly. 800. Not points, but competitive games that Tom Watkins has been in charge of the Telford Tigers. What an achievement, quite simply. I can just say 800 and move on. I could, but I'm not going to. Congratulations on reaching the milestone, Tom, and, thank you for everything that you've done for ice hockey in Telford over that time as well. Right, results time. We'll kick off as we always do with Tigers 2. So Tigers 2 were on the road, taking on the Sheffield Scimitars. So, travelled up there. 4-1 up at the end of the second. Looking reasonably straightforward, I would say. Didn't quite work out that way. It seems that Sheffield put the pressure on in the third. But it did finish 4-3, so Tigers 2 record another victory. So, assuming I can count, that means that they've played 4 and won 3 of them, with a very narrow loss to the widely tipped Blackburn Hawks. So, stepping up a level, Tigers 2 seem to be doing pretty well at the moment. So, great work, lads. Keep it going. On to Tigers. So, they travelled to Peterborough on Saturday night. 4-2 up with about 4 or 5 minutes to go. Ended up going to overtime, no goals in overtime, and went to a penalty shootout. The Phantoms won, scoring 2 of their 3 penalties, whilst Tigers only scored on 1 of their 3. Positives, we've really struggled at Peterborough last season. I think there was a midweek game that I watched last season at Peterborough, and it finished something about 9-1, 9-2, something like that. Much better performance. There are going to be plenty of teams, I think, that go to Peterborough this season and would be delighted to leave with a point. Will the Tigers at the best? No, absolutely not. But for a road game, I think they did a good job of just sort of like clogging stuff up and just making it difficult for Peterborough to sort of get anything going, get any momentum going. First goal to concede was a bit disappointing. Peterborough's second goal, power play goal from pretty silly penalty, I think, to have taken. So definitely some positives. Didn't play at our best, but it was a good enough performance on the road on the whole, certainly in terms of getting or stopping Peterborough getting any momentum. Negatives, obviously, conceding 2 goals in the final couple of minutes, it's not ideal. Obviously, the result itself from that point on to come away with 1 point when 2 was looking very possible. Also a bit disappointing, can't lie on that. And yeah, I just think that we left a couple of goals out there. I think there's some really good chances that we didn't finish off. I mean, props to Hayden Levine. I thought he kept Peterborough in the game at times, quite simply. I think he was very unlucky not to have got man of the match for them. Made a couple of absolutely outstanding saves and sort of numerous good ones as well. That's the way it goes. It's a bit of a strange one. Being so close to getting the 2 points, do kind of feel a bit disappointed, to be honest. But on the flip side, point at Peterborough, it's not to be sniffed at. And, you know, if at the end of the day, a couple of weeks ago, somebody had said, right, okay, from your first 3 games, you can have 5 points. Do you take that? Leeds away, Milton Keynes at home, Peterborough away. Yeah, I'll have taken that. So, yeah, bit of a mixed one, I think. Sunday, Basingstoke Bison in town. First game back for the Bison. Was it going to be a fairy tale return for the Bison? After 10 minutes, definitely not. Tigers 2 up, pretty comfortable. Then Bison got one back. Tigers in the second were able to extend it to 3-1, although the period finished 3-3. Yeah, Bison had I think it was their second, it might have been their third, but yeah, they were just camped in our zone for about 2 minutes. It wasn't a power play, they were just camped in our zone and finally scored. 3 reasonably quick goals in the third. Saw Bison go 4-3 up, Tigers pull it back, and Bison go 5-4 up. And then late power play, quite simply. Ended up with a 5-on-3, scored on the 5-on-3. So it became a 5-on-4, scored on that as well, 6-5 lead, and then a short-handed empty net goal to round it out. So positives, 2 points, particularly as for a time that was not looking likely. I think it would be perhaps fair to say. Other positive, power play. 4 from 4 last night. That is very hot at the moment. Of course, it would be remiss of me as well, not to mention David Thompson. 4 goals last night. Wow. 3 on the power play and the empty netter at the end. But yeah, 4-goal game. Strange enough, even man of the match for the Tigers team, but I guess scoring 4 goals will do that for you. So yeah, you know, definitely some positives there. Negatives, I don't think that we were necessarily fantastic. Again, I don't think at our best. I do kind of feel we got away with one last night, quite simply. I think at times, particularly in the second period, Tigers looked like a team who hadn't played for a couple of weeks. Yeah, Bison were just sort of that step ahead, certainly throughout the second period, I felt. But hey, you know, that's what happens. It's sort of the way the games go, and yeah, sometimes, you know, you end up picking up those wins that perhaps you don't deserve. Ultimately, end of the day, here we are, you know, 2 weekends gone, we've got 7 points out of 8. Again, you know, if that had been offered a month ago, no brainer. I said absolutely yes, please. That would have been the sign, you know, taking that as sort of an exceptional start to the season. Particularly considering the past couple of seasons, we definitely haven't had the strongest of starts. So yeah, definitely some encouraging signs, I think, for the Tigers still. Only the one game next weekend against Bristol. With any luck, there'll be lots of energy and we'll be back to somewhere near our best. I think we'll need to be, purely because Bristol are going to be hurting after 2 big losses against Leeds this weekend, and I'm sure they'll be looking to bounce back and put something up on the board, quite simply, and perhaps try and get their season up and running. As we saw in pre-season, a couple of tight games between them. I know there is a difference between pre-season and the season, but you know, it's less than a month ago that we played them. I think it could be a tight game. But yeah, Tigers will need to be back at their best. Question of the week time. Reasonably straightforward one, this one, hopefully. And that is Player of the Month. Including pre-season, so pre-season and the season to date so far. Who is your Player of the Month? Actually, you need to pick 2 Players of the Month. So, part 1, who is the player of the month for your team? And then part 2, who is player of the month across the league? Have a good think. Let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know who you think, both for your team and across the league. If you'd like to come on an episode, talk about your team. Really simple to do. Again, just get in contact and I'm sure we can arrange something. But in terms of this episode, that's it. I'll be back this time next week. Bye for now.